welcome back to the Right Brain Podcast. I am your host, pvsimson, and with me today I have a fraternity brother of mine, whose name is Riley Hockman. How you doing, Riley?
Good.
Yeah? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm just doing okay.
Yeah.
Had a slow day. This is the most eventful thing I'm doing.
That's fair. It'd be like that. 2020's been a bitch. So right off the bat, you are here at KU, right? You're a freshman
Yes.
at KU,
Yeah.
and you are in the design school, correct?
Yeah. The Department of Architecture and Design.
Nice. And what are you majoring in?
Visual communications, but it's like the fancy name for graphic design, so it's just graphic design pretty much.
Nice. Okay. And what do you want to do with that?
I'm probably going to go into like advertising or something, because I've just always liked, I think it's interesting how like colors and shapes and patterns and stuff affect and like influence people, and that's really like the only thing that I'm good at, so I just figured I might as well stick with that.
That's fair. So, you like to like draw on the side, right?
Yeah.
Like the stuff that you're assigned?
Yeah, I do some sketchbook stuff, but a lot of the more like interesting stuff I make is like on the computer.
Oh yeah.
So
What's the piece that you're like most proud of?
I don't know. It has to be one of the ones on my personal, because those are like, that's like showing the like most amount of skill I have. Probably this one with Mac Miller, or I know I can't see this, but just some of these probably, because they're like the ones that I put the most effort into. Like the one of me as a kid holding a joint, there was like a whole fish that I had to Photoshop out of this picture completely. Like there's a fish in front of like my arm.
Oh yeah.
Like I had to Photoshop my arm.
Yeah.
So that took like 2 hours, but yeah. I figured since that's the thing I like to do for fun, it's probably a good idea to make that my career.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do something you like. That's a good thing to lean back on. So if it took you like 2 hours to Photoshop an arm, how long would it take to do like something bigger, something more? Like how long is like the average like time? How long does it take on average to make one of those?
Okay, the process is pretty like extensive. So first you got to take like, usually the ones that have like the most detail are the ones where I Photoshop myself with somebody else in there, and you have to like match the lighting conditions of the photo and stuff. It's like a whole process. So first you have to take the picture, and you have to also find a picture that you're gonna match up, and then you have to get like all the lighting settings correct, and like the angle that the light's hitting, and also like what kind of light is hitting. So if it's like sunlight in the picture and it's the dead of winter when I have to like take my reference picture of myself, I'm kind of screwed. So there's stuff like that that's like hard to recreate, but pretty much like the more attention to detail you pay during like the time you take the picture, it'll like save you so much time later, because it's easier to do like pre-process than post-process.
Yeah.
Because like after taking the picture, you load it into Photoshop, and I normally crop it to like a 1x1, so it just fits for Instagram, and then I have to like slowly put all the pieces together, and then a lot of it comes down to like changing color correction settings, using the selection tools, and then copy and paste to like recreate an arm or something, or move a shadow somewhere, because there's like little things I do too during this process. Like if there's a shadow on a wall, like in one of the last ones, the one with MJ, I like basically the shadow that I'm casting was little pieces of the shadow from him just moved over and then like slid over and then I erased them. So basically the shadows are like perfectly matching the photos.
Yeah.
And also like I had to Photoshop that whole like design like that. I didn't have that shirt. I had to take his shirt and then I had to find it online and edit it in.
Damn.
But I just figured like stuff like that takes so much extra attention and care to do is just I don't know. It makes the work look so much better.
Yeah, it does. And one of my friends from like high school, he now like kind of does what you're doing, except he like really abstract, really abstract.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Who is it?
His name is Jake Herman, but his page is called Onion. And like he's like doing some shit.
Wow. What is going on, monkey?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's kind of crazy what you can do on those apps.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I don't know. It honestly came out of quarantine. Because that was the first, like. I'm pretty sure that picture was, like, my first Instagram post on, like, my actual Instagram.
The one with MJ?
No, it was, like. Last March. I had posted one of. It was just a bunch of copies of me. I was really bored one day.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just a bunch of. Like, it was really easy to set up. And, yeah, I don't know. Just. I was really, really bored, and it was April 12th, 2020.
Yeah.
And so. I made all those in like 6 hours because I had to relearn Photoshop for a quick second. I've been using it since like 8th grade, but I had to relearn it because I hadn't used it in a while. But, yeah, that's sort of what it was spurred on by. It's like the boredom.
The boredom of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
I mean, it's happening for a lot of people. They're finding new hobbies, new things to do, new interests. It's crazy. I guess it's one silver lining of this whole shithole mess.
If you want to call it that.
It's a pandemic.
But I don't know. I kept posting, and I'm just try to average like one post a month now because my edits are sort of in full flow. Like I have my schedule and everything, and I can just the idea just sort of spurs along, and like it kind of just happens one day. But other days I just don't have any inspiration to do anything, or like I don't have any ideas. But then one day I'll get like 5.
Damn. Yeah, I guess it is kind of like that with me too. When I'm like making music, I like just zoning on. For me, it's just one thing at a time, one project. But I'll like get a bunch of ideas for it, but then only one of them works out. Do you think you'll like in the future like expand it to something more than just celebrities and what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I want to. I want to include some motion graphics in the next one, but After Effects is going to be a pain in the ass to learn because it's just like, I think in After Effects it's like 3D space, and you also have like the factor of time too, so editing pictures is way easier, But with like footage, you need like you also need tons of hard drive space too. So that's pretty
true.
ass.
That's true. You need a bit more space because it's big files. But
But yeah, I would like to sort of expand out more into newer mediums maybe. I just don't know like what exactly to do. Like it's weird. I'll get this idea and it's like straight vision all the way to like the idea being finished. Like that's how I feel. So I don't know, like the one of me holding a joint, I could like think of all the steps because for Photoshop it's usually just a bunch of steps all in a row. But I could think of all the steps before they like happen basically. And that's when I know I'm in like the zone.
and then like once you're in the zone, then what are you doing then? Like what's around you? What's the environment like? The sights, the smells, the sounds.
It's not even like it would be a high or anything. It's just sort of like you can be wherever. It's just nothing is gonna pull you away from like the work because I just feel like magnetized to it. Like I can finish this right now, so I should, basically.
And then do you work until you finish it, or do you take breaks, or
Yeah, I usually work until I finish it.
have you ever started something and then just like put it off completely,
It had
and then just
yeah.
come back to it later?
Yeah, there's been some stuff like that, but everything I've put off, like I just never went back to because it's kind of just like, yeah, not really feeling it. But yeah, I have had some that have taken me like 3 days to make because sometimes like the amount of just selection and copy and paste and transform edits that you can do in a day is just too much. So you just get tired of it.
Yeah. And then, is that a lot of what you're doing? And is it Photoshop?
Yeah, it's honestly only like it's not that many things that you need to learn to be able to Photoshop really well.
That's good.
You only need like 4 tools. You need to know like basic commands, and by basic I mean like you use them in Google Docs, like Control Z, Control C,
Yeah.
Control V, stuff like that. So, I mean, there's like a few things you can learn, but for everything I've made, I've pretty much used like 6 tools, depending on what effect I'm trying to create. But you can pretty much create anything with like the 6 tools I use.
And have you ever seen something like anyone like do that before? What you're doing with the celebrities and
I mean, there's like the closest I've seen to it is what was it? Like friends who will just put clip art of like a Fanta bottle or like a Coke bottle or something in front of like beer on social media. Right. And that's like the only amount of Photoshop I ever see. That's like
sweet, then.
Intentionally meant to be seen. But yeah.
Type.
I don't know why. I don't know what spurred on the idea either. I think I was just thinking like, oh, that'd be cool if I looked like I was hanging out with celebrities or something. Because everyone's bored over quarantine. Like, they want to see something.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It kind of worked out.
All right, Riley. Is there anything you want to plug to the people out there?
You can follow me at riley.hockman at on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. If anybody wants to email me for any work, because I would be down to do some design work for my portfolio, just hit me up. Can you link my email or something? Or
yeah, I'll put it in post.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just I don't know. I'm looking for work. I've been looking for a little bit just to get some stuff on my portfolio for jobs and such. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, man. Red Band Podcast.